So this is a graphic from Captain Planet's article, and it features hero compositions and their the team fight win rates with those compositions. Now something stood out to me from this graphic that I want to draw attention to. And by the way, I'll link that article in the description. It's a great article. I recommend you guys read it. The thing that really stood out to me was D.Va. So D.Va shows up 4 times here, and in all 4 times she shows up, the win rate for those compositions with the D.Va in them is at 50% or below 50%. And if you look at the top 4 compositions in terms of usage, the other 2 compositions do significantly better. Those compositions have a Mei and a Hog in them, and it's just, to me, I was really intrigued by this, and I wanted to take a closer look at why this is, and I hope this video will address that. Now, one thing I do want to address is, why are we seeing what we're seeing? In case you might not know already, Halt Hook is just so powerful, and you're gonna have to try to figure out a way to defend against it. And a Mei has her walls to defend against it, and then D.Va has her defense matrix to defend against it. You also have Zarya, who has her bubbles to defend against it, but we haven't seen so much of that. I know Mineral posted a great video detailing how the Guangzhou charge used Zarya and pretty much just negated Halt Hook from Philly, and it's a great video. I'll link that in the description as well. But we haven't seen so much of it. I think we'll see more of it next week. But I just kind of want to focus on D.Va in this video and just show you guys the difficulties that D.Va players have in this meta, protecting their team, healing for their team, and at the same time worrying about the Orisa, Hog, Halt Hook. And it's just a lot that they have to take in, a lot they have to deal with. So hopefully this video can help open the eyes to that, and that's kind of my goal with this. So let's get into it. Alright, so this first example is from the Outlaws vs Eternal on Junkertown Point B. The Outlaws are defending right now against the Eternal, and you can see Muma has his Bongo, Coolmat has his Bomb, and then Boink has Valk. Now, I'm going to pause right here. Eternal have, as far as ultimates, they have Trans and they have Whole Hog. Now, if you look at what Coolmat's doing, he's helping his Hanzo in the 1v1 right now with his defense matrix preemptively. His Hanzo's fine, and I really don't like this usage of defense matrix, but just for the sake of argument, suppose his Hanzo is low health. He's helping him out with defense matrix. That might be a good usage of defense matrix. But what happens after he uses his defense matrix? His Orisa, Muma, is completely susceptible to Halt Hook now. You're going to see that's exactly what happens while Muma has his Bongo at the same time. And you can see Coolmat not there to eat the Halt. Muma gets hooked. And they don't have a Mei, so no Mei wall can come up. Jake is playing the Hanzo instead, and if he was playing Mei, perhaps he could have got the wall up there, and perhaps having a Hog instead of a D.Va could have had them actually get the Halt Hook instead of the Eternal. All right, the next clip we're going to look at here is Gladiators vs Excelsior, Temple of Anubis. Gladiators are on attack right now. Excelsior on defense. They have Widow, Junkrat, D.Va, Orisa, and then Genex on the Zen, Anemos on the Mercy. Gladiators have double sniper, Orisa, Hog, Bap, Zen. So let's see how this plays out. And I do want to remind you guys that Gladiators can switch to Mei whenever they want. They have the spawn advantage, being the attacking team on the first point of 2 CP. So if they did see Meko on the Hog, they could always just switch to the Mei. Whereas Excelsior are defending right now, so they are going to have to pretty much be committed to what they're playing with. Now you're going to see Meko actually plays this about as well as you can play it as a D.Va. And still Excelsior are going to lose this fight. So speed this up a little bit. Shield's going to get broken. There's going to be a lot of shield pressure from the Gladiators. And they're going to back up here, the Excelsior are. And the Halt's going to come in, and then Meko's going to try to eat it. The Halt didn't really do anything anyway. That's fine. Plays that fine. Now Excelsior are going to continue to back up here. Mono Shield, as you guys can see, is getting absolutely obliterated. Play this on. Excelsior back on the point here. And now Mono's going to put his shield down again. You can see how low Mono is right now, right? So Mecho's still not using Defense Matrix. They have the shield. That's completely fine. But now the shield break is coming in again, and Mono is below half health. And Mecho has no choice here but to use his Defense Matrix on his main tank, right? Because there's going to be no shield here, no barrier from Mono for, let's see where the cooldown's at. So yeah, he has 7 seconds left on his barrier. So 7 seconds. And Mecho has no choice here but to use his Defense Matrix. And this is a completely fine use of Defense Matrix, but what does that do? So DM here for Mono as he's in a tough position, has no cover. What does that do? So Nene gets a huge pick, but you can see the halt coming in right now. Roar saw the Defense Matrix and he knows that they're exposed. Void's going to come in here and get this pick onto the Junkrat. Mecho's actually going to go in, and his Defense Matrix was on cooldown, just comes up. He's going to try to help Libero, but he's actually going to die as well as Libero. Or he's actually going to get demeched. So now he has no way of defending against Halt Hook. Animo gets the res. They play this about as well as you can play it. But the Halt comes in again and there's no DM because Mecho got demeched. And the Gladiators are going to go on to win this fight. So let's watch this again. So first Mono sets up on the high ground over here on the platform. That's fine. And he's going to get pressured back. I kind of just want to theorize, like, what can Excelsior do here instead? I mean, obviously, Mecho is doing everything he can. He's a great Defense Matrix for Mono when his shield got obliterated and Mono had to fall back. And here, I guess, if you want to nitpick, you could say, well, you know, Mecho can stay D.Va. They don't have to go Mei. All Mono needs to do is just play closer to cover here in case his shield goes down. Which, well, I mean, is that really going to be the case? So let's continue to play this. Mono's shield goes down. Yeah, Mono sets up like in the middle here, and I suppose if he would have been closer to cover like right here or right here, it would have been better off than being out in the open. So if you want to blame Mono's positioning, I guess. But it'd just be so much easier if they had a Mei here to wall this off instead of, well, they want to go Junk Widow, so one of them would have to swap. You're going to lose out on some damage, but you're going to protect against something like this. And Mecho goes in to help out with his Defense Matrix, finally off cooldown. And it's just not enough. So we'll watch this again from Mecho's perspective. So Mono's shield goes down. He sees Mono is below 50% health, and he's got to help him. Now Defense Matrix 2, 1 can't do anything. DM is still on the 1 second cooldown. There's nothing he can do. So let's theorize this. If Mecho was instead playing Zarya, he could bubble Libero here, right? Well, no, because he would use his ally bubble on Mono. So, is Zarya really the answer here? To me, the only answer is Mei. And you're going to have to run a Mei if you want to really be protective against Halt Hook. Or just make sure your main tank and everyone else is out of position if shield goes down and if DM goes down. Which is, it's a lot to ask. Are you really going to, I mean, how are you going to defend against every possible location that a Halt can come in from? Like, it's kind of impractical, right? So I think that not having a Mei is going to put your team at a huge detriment in this meta. So I hope this video was informational and it opened your eyes a little bit to why the data is saying what it's saying and why Mei is just so valuable right now in the meta, as opposed to having a D.Va, and why in theory they both defend against Halt Hook, but really one seems to be a little bit more superior in doing so. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments about it as well. What do you think about this graph from Captain Plan? Was there something I'm missing on this graph that would be interesting to look at as well? And yeah, I hope you guys, I think Overwatch is a beautiful game, and this channel is kind of dedicated to, exploring what there is in the scene, and now that the replay viewer is out, and seeing how teams are working, who's making the plays, who might be slacking a little bit. I want to explore that stuff with this channel. So if that sounds interesting, please consider subscribing. So thank you guys. Peace.